I think what keeps me choosing the business is that creative flexibility. I really enjoy the fact that I have an idea and I just do it. For me, that's what it is. Corporately, when you get to those higher levels, that. It's all this red tape. And what I love about entrepreneurship is that there's very little red tape for you as a business owner. And so that's what keeps me in business. It's like when I feel like I'm getting bored or when I feel like I don't like it, change it. Get creative, do something different, spice it up.
I think the new trend in 2025 is lifetime value. Like, how do I actually grow a sustainable business over time by serving what I have and curating what I have instead of chasing everything and chasing the newness, especially like with social media and everything. And one of the things I love about following you is I see so clearly that you are in your lane. Like, you don't do the trends, like you don't hop around, like you do everything in your lane. How did you create that focus?
Getting fired from corporate. I just decided when I got laid off. Let me use the right term. I decided that, and it was crazy. I left from the building. The craziest story, right? I left from the building. I went home, and my husband wasn't home yet, and I was by myself. At the time, I was taking care of my mom, so my mom lived in home with me. My mom is in a nursing home, by the way, so I'm also her full-time person. And at the time, I got home and she was taking a nap and her caregiver was there, and I went in my office and I sat there. And I didn't cry. I didn't cry for like 3 hours. And I sat at a desk and I literally asked myself, like, what do you not like about this? And I was like, I don't like the fact that somebody decided that I wasn't necessary. At the drop of you're no longer needed. So for me, that is like my guiding force is because I did a lot of sacrificing there. I was working 60 plus hours a week. I was a leader manager. I was overseeing over 6.25 million in budgets across centers. We had 3 different locations nationally. So it was a lot. So to go from that and then all of a sudden you're not needed the next day, I said, I will never feel that again. I'm gonna make my own way. And so when it comes to my business, I'm gonna do what makes Tomasha happy. I don't ask clients too much for their feedback when I get ready to do something. We're just doing it. And I'm gonna position it to you and you're gonna feel really good about it. Even if I'm taking something away, right? Because that's a skill. And so for me, it's doing what's gonna keep me happy, because if I'm not happy, I'm not productive. If I'm not productive, I can't get paid. If I can't get paid, I can't have no presence. If I can't have no presence, I can't have no peace. If I have no peace, then I won't have no partner, and we know it goes from there. So it's that, long answer.
How do we become necessary to ourselves first? Wow. Yeah, because we put, especially as women of color, we put all of our eggs into that other basket in these jobs. And then they tell us that we're not necessary. But then how do we even start to build a relationship to be necessary to ourselves?
So one thing I did corporately, and I don't do it as well now, I did it in the beginning of my entrepreneur journey, is corporately I would write down everything that I did that was productive at my work. I had a bad manager, by the way, so when it came down to performance evaluation, she liked to play me, and I'm getting an exceeds, okay? And so I would document all the projects that I did and all the little wins that I had. And so at the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, I did the same thing, because sometimes we forget what we're doing. You ever realize that? You don't know how much you're doing. You don't know how many people you're serving. You don't know how many wins you've gotten a client. You forget about that client that was almost getting divorced. And then they came to you and they're like, baby, I'm happy, we're good. You forget about that client that was husband's driving Uber and now they're going out to, high priced dinners. So for me, it's documentation and going back and revisiting what I have done and just reminding myself that I'm capable and I'm doing it. Sometimes we really don't realize that we're in the thick of it doing it. Yes, there's a plan for what's next. Yes, you got your strategy for the rest of the year. But today, I'm in this thing.
Presence. Yeah. What do you need today? How can you be necessary to yourself today? How are you celebrating yourself today? Right. Yeah, so good. You already spoke to this a little bit, but what keeps you in business? So many people have left, so many people have paused, and to each his own. But what keeps you choosing the business? Even if you have to take a sabbatical or a pause, but what keeps you choosing the business?
I think what keeps me choosing the business is that creative flexibility. I really enjoy the fact that I have an idea and I just do it. For me, that's what it is. Corporately, when you get to those higher levels, you know that. It's all this red tape. And what I love about entrepreneurship is that there's very little red tape for you as a business owner. And so that's what keeps me in business. It's like when I feel like I'm getting bored or when I feel like I don't like it, change it. Get creative, do something different, spice it up. And so that keeps me in business because I've definitely had a couple of times where I was like, babes, Indeed is looking real good. LinkedIn, me right now, I'm serious, because I think sometimes we don't share that enough, like those of us that have been here for a while. And so that's what keeps me here is I have creative freedom.
Yeah. I think too, it's freedom in so many ways, right? Creative freedom too. And I think, and I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow, building a healthy relationship with work is so important because we all like work. Like you low-key said, like you like work, right? And I think like,
Love it.
yeah. And I think something that Kirsten was saying earlier is like right now there's a lot of soft life content going on right now. And so I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that?
You can be soft and work hard. I'm not quite sure with this whole idea that like soft life meant that you did nothing. The work is the work.
Wait. Soft life means that you did nothing.
I don't know. I just don't know where that came
Yeah,
from.
but that's what it looks like. Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Even the girls on TikTok that got the tea and the what, they had to set the camera up and film it and edit it just to see that they lived the soft life. Like they work.
Yeah. And that's the part of it. It's just like there are people that are like, and I think obviously years ago that was like the vibe. It's like we're not doing anything but being at the beach. And I'm like, why you got your laptop at the beach? That's not a vibe. But not a vibe. And so, but you have to sit down and you start asking yourself, like, why am I running from the work? What is your relationship with work, right? Because the work is why I'm here on this couch with you. If I wasn't doing that work, I wouldn't have these opportunities. The work is why I had a client who like was literally on the brink of getting divorced, and her husband are still together now because the business wasn't doing well. And after working with me, it's doing well, right? That's the work. And so sometimes I think that like, yes, it's work, but it's also a blessing. Right? You're doing something that is blessing other people. And so instead of trying to fight to do less, why don't you fight to do more? Just figure out how to do that more without feeling like it's more. Right? Like you've done that here. It's like if you apply what you're seeing your coach doing to your life, what does that look like? She's been doing the work for years, right? And now she has a room of over 100 people. That's called changing what it looks like. You're doing more at one time. So get smart. That's what I think is important too, like being smart about it.
Great. Now, changing gears, I stalked you on Threads. Tomasha's very active on Threads. Y'all should follow her on Threads. She's very active on Threads. There were a few threads that caught my eye. You said, I would rather be respectable than liked. Tell me more, what does that mean or what is the difference?
Well, why are we worried about being liked by people? We don't know y'all. That's the first part is like, I don't need to be liked. I need you to respect what I'm here to do. And there's quite a few people that I don't like, but I respect them. And quite frankly, some of the people that you don't like, you probably should be paying them, but that's a whole nother conversation, right? Like I run into people like this, like, oh, I don't really like her, I had to mute her. You probably should be in the program then. You didn't like her lunch? Like, it was great. And so, but for me, respect is important. Respect is like at the foundation of a lot of things that I do. And so I want people to respect my craft, I want people to respect my boundaries. I want people to respect that, yeah, like I'm a woman of color in an industry where for a long time, it was not like what you see now in this room. And so I think it's important for me that I be respected for who I am, what I bring to the table, what I bring to the room, and the wholeness of myself versus just being liked for a second, just someone liking my post. Do you respect me and my business and what I'm doing?
I think being liked is temporary and respect is long-lasting. I think like if you put together something that's respectable, there's several different elements of it that can't be taken away. But with likeness, it's like, oh, I like her 1 minute and then now I don't. It's like a little flaky.
Oh, we see that a lot online.
Say more.
Yeah, like oftentimes when I see people say like that coach got taken down, or like that business owner, they're just all of a sudden not on her side. Because they never really liked her, right? And they really didn't respect her, but they really didn't like her. And so I feel like respect will see you through the tough times as well, right? I had some really tough times over the last 2 years. None of it's online, by the way. But I have been battling with a significant amount of grief. I have had 3 matriarchs die, and recently I lost my aunt. And I'm sharing so that you understand. And with all of that came some shifts with how I needed to do things. Because my clients respect me, they were coming to me with suggestions. Like, hey, I saw the email from the team, so-and-so XYZ, because they know what's going on. How about I just move my appointment X, Y, and Z? Well, I really don't need X, Y, and Z, boom, boom, boom. Like, that's respect, And I think if they just liked me, they'd be trying to get a refund, right? They'd be sending emails bashing the team and be like, oh, we didn't get this X, Y, Z. So respect really sees you through the tough times as well.
And I think, like I keep saying, it's more sustainable. Yeah, it's more sustainable that way as well. Another thread, you referenced Beyonce. I love this one. You said, create to be memorable, not easily forgotten. Some don't love the Beehive, Beyonce, but they remember. Some don't buy tickets, but they remember. Some don't like her, but they remember. You can hate, but you won't forget. Right? Right?
I love that little snap for me. I'm a little poetic. Yeah.
Say more about this one.
Yeah, so it kind of extends, but I think the last part of it was just like you can hate, but you won't forget. Anything that you do, I think, as a woman, there's going to be a little bit of hate. And I feel like I see trends of it getting thick. Would you agree?
Definitely.
It gets a little thick. I'm like, oh, gosh. And so you have to remember that the goal is for people to know what it is that you do and what your mission is. And you want them to remember that. They might not remember what you had on. They might not like all of your posts. They may not even really fully buy from you. But if I can get you to remember what I'm about, who I am, that's more powerful than anything, right? And that was my goal in the beginning. My clients can sell for me better than I probably could sell for myself. That was the goal for me. I want you to remember all that I'm saying. I have people I worked with 2 or 3 years ago, and they'll message me. I get messages all the time, and they're like, I'm looking through my notes, and I'm like, girl, those notes need to be updated from 2 or 3 years ago. And I remember when you said X, Y, and Z, and I've been doing that, and I'm still getting X, Y. That's memorable. So often I think we're creating things for instant results and to make ourselves feel good. You don't need to be driving your ego. You need to be expanding people's memory of you, right?
You talked about it from a client perspective. How can we work on it from a marketing perspective?
Marketing, I think, is important for you not to feel like you have to do what everyone else is doing. And I know that seems really simple, but I think it's important for all of us to figure out what is our unique spin. Like, you find a trend, what is your spin on that? How can you act faster on that? How can you actually, and don't like fall into using the language that everyone's using sometimes. Some of you do need to use a different language. Some of you are speaking specifically to a type of woman, but because you're afraid of that, you won't say, like when you started saying, like, listen, your job is racist. That was a very bold thing, but that was memorable. I didn't forget it for months. Right? That's called memorable marketing. You have to say things and be willing to do things that might stretch the imagination of a lot of people, might even make them hate you. But you know what it will do? It will attract your tribe. It will attract the people who have been waiting for someone to say something daring like that.
I think it's too about authenticity. If you are yourself, it's very hard to forget another person, but it's easy to forget a coach online, right? Like, we see thousands, like if you think about it on your feed, you see thousands and thousands of coaches every single day on your phone, but you forget most of them. But if you show up authentically, you'll be the one that's memorable and it'll stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. And be willing for people to misunderstand you in your pursuit of that. In the beginning, like I remember I used to do lives like all the time. I was like the live queen. I'm serious, on Facebook too. And I would do live streams, and to someone that probably wasn't really my aligned client, I might come off as mean, and I would get messages like, you look like you could have delivered that a lot nicer. No, my woman is smart, and she thinks she know everything. I can't talk to her nice. I got to tell her about herself, right? Like, I know my woman. She is smart. She more than likely has a degree or something. She's been working for a little bit, even if she hasn't been in business a long time. So I can't talk to sister like, she's just somebody else. I have to be direct. And I had to remind myself throughout those years that that's not my person. That can't stop me from showing up the way I need to show up. And I think that's really huge.